Hey everyone. Already in bed, can't get out of bed, don't want to get out of bed, whether it is in the evening, in the morning, or just the middle of the day and you are just not feeling like moving. That's okay. But if you do want to do something, if you want to give your body some movement, some stretching, tiniest bit of ab work, then this one is for you. Join me for the next 14 minutes or so as we stretch and do a little tiniest bit of abs, but more so stretching and just some self-care. So go ahead and lie down on your bed, flat if you can. If it's okay for your head, have the pillows out of the way. Start with those knees bent. Bring the legs in towards your chest and just rock side to side, opening up that low back. Head can be up or down, your choice. And then you're going to let your knees fall to one side, twisting in the side of your body, the lower back, maybe feeling a stretch in the hip. Turn your head the opposite way. Take about 5 good breaths here. I'm going to move nice and slow. Just feeling the bed underneath you, supporting you, holding you up, forming to your body in ways that the floor does not. When you're ready, take your knees to the other side. Turn your head in the opposite direction. Arm can be bent or straight, whatever works for you. Try to make sure that that opposite shoulder is not hiked up out of place. And you can adjust those legs a little if you're not really feeling that stretch. Deep breaths, inhaling, exhaling. If you can, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Coming back up with those knees, let the knees fall side to side a bit, moving the pelvis and the hips. Take a little stretch for the back of one leg, and then a little stretch for the back of the other leg. Just quick there. And then take the feet down, have the knees bent, make sure the hip flexors are not gripping. Pelvis is pretty flat and neutral. Letting the pelvis come to neutral if it's not there. I'm going to pick up the right leg, cross the right ankle over the left knee, and flex that right foot. Bring the legs towards you, or rotate the ankles if you would like. Feel your tailbone reaching down, feel that right hip opening, feel the right leg opening. Taking a little rock side to side if you so choose. And then when you're ready, go ahead and switch legs. Left ankle crossed over right knee. Right leg is pushing open, but you're still pulling the legs towards you gently, rotating the ankles as well. Make sure you get both directions with an ankle rotation. And if you feel this in your left knee, flex that left foot. That will take pressure off that left knee. Uncrossing. Taking the feet down, letting the knees fall in. Feet are wider than hips. Getting some internal rotation, and then coming back to hip distance. Tiniest bit of abs. Here we go. Take the hands behind the head. Just a little curl up, and then down. We're going to do 5. This is number 3. 2 more. Last one. And then rest down. You can let the knees fall in again, or you can just rest. We're going to do 3 more sets of 5. Curling up and down. Curling up and down. Try not to let your tailbone curl up with your head. It's going to want to. That's how we're built. But working on that low ab strength will keep the pelvis separate from the head. We'll keep that lumbar spine separate from the cervical spine. We're going to do 1 more set. 5 little curl ups, working the upper abs on that curl up. Low abs are working to keep the pelvis stable. If you need to put your hands there like I did, go for it. Bring those legs in again. Rock side to side. One more thing to focus on the abs, and then that's all we'll do with abs for this one. You're going to bring your legs to tabletop and flex those feet. You're going to try to have your shins parallel to the ground, ankles in line with knees. Keep the knees bent, tap one heel down, and then the other heel. Try not to grip in the hips. It might be easier with your head lifted. I found that it was. So I went ahead and lifted my head. If this is too easy, do both legs. If it's too hard, keep the feet down and then just take one leg in the air, tap that leg down and up, do one leg about 5 times, and then switch and do the other leg about 5 times. So your starting position can be with the feet on the ground. Go ahead and relax back down, rock side to side with those knees in. Feel the spine nice and long as well. Now turn onto one side, grab the top ankle or foot and just stretch your quad, stretching the top of the top leg. Opening up the hip a little bit as well. You want to try to keep your knee in line with your hip. You don't want to have that knee lifted towards the ceiling at all. When you're ready, release, turn onto your other side, grab the opposite foot. Just take a little stretch back. Bottom leg can be bent or wherever you need that bottom leg to be. Try not to arch in your back. And keep that pelvis nice and aligned. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Go ahead and release that stretch. Turn onto your stomach, shift where you are lying if you need to. Rock those hips side to side just a bit. Loosen up that back if it tightened up. I'm going to come up onto our forearms and elbows. We're going to be here for a minute, and I want to make sure that you're not tilting the pelvis. So if anything, you want to tuck the pelvis as we do some slow head rolls. 2 or 3 in this direction, and then 2 or 3 in the other direction. Feel your pubic bone pressing down a little bit on your bed to keep that low back lengthened. Press down in the arms so that your chest is lifted. Shoulder blades are sliding down the back. Nice and gentle head circles, neck circles. Once you're even on both sides, come on up to hands and knees and then sit back in a child's pose. Try to have your head as flat down as you can. My glasses were in the way and I kept them on, but if you can keep that cervical spine long, the back of your neck long, and not bent at any weird spot, that would be best. Feel that tailbone reaching down, feel the hips sinking down to the heels. We're going to come onto hands and knees or fist and knees, depending on the firmness of your mattress. Fists might be better on your wrist. And we're just going to round and arch. Really, really indulge here and just stretch the back as you round, and then as you arch, open the chest, and do enjoy that arch. After everything I've said about don't arch that low back, enjoy it. Now, I somewhat impulsively did a down dog. It wasn't planned, but it went okay. So if you feel like you can do it safely, go for it. Again, it's about the stretch. I don't care what your down dog looks like, but I'm getting a stretch in my legs and I'm getting a stretch in my back. And then I decided to just bring my knees down and go back to a child's pose. If down dog is not working for you, you can just go right to child's pose. That's okay. This time you can have your hands behind you if it feels okay for you. And then when you're ready, come on up, turn back around. Sitting up, legs long in front of you. Reaching forward, take a little stretch there, and then you're just going to take your right hand to your left foot, stretch the left leg, and take a little twist in the body. More so about stretching the leg here than the twist, and then reversing, stretching the other leg. And you can see that my left leg is now bent, that I'm focusing on my right leg. Get a deeper stretch on that right side, get a little more of a twist in my body. I'm going to do a little side stretch after this. So you're going to reach your left arm up and over, twist, look towards that left hand, and then keep the body orientation as it is and just stretch to the side so that you get a stretch along the left side of the body. Keep that left hip down. Come back up and then reverse. Stretch the right arm up and over. Shoulder stays down. Right hip stays down, right shoulder stays down, and you just lean away. Try to touch the hands if you can. If you can't, that's okay. Getting a stretch along the left side of the body. Or I'm sorry, the right side. Coming back up. Do a variation on that. Open the left arm. Reach up and over, don't go all the way down, and then come back up. Reaching up and over, we're still stretching that left side, keeping the ribs closed. One more time. And then this time, all the way down, come through center, over to your left side, come back up with the right arm, and then reversing. Open the right arm to the side, up and over, but keep the right hip down as the right arm reaches up, right shoulder down. Coming back up, and again, floating that right arm up, and down, and one more time. All the way down, enjoy that stretch, and then enjoy that stretch forward. Pause in the center. Head is forward, butt is back. Feel that opposition. Coming up, you're going to flex those feet. You're going to cross right over left and flex those feet. If you can, ankles and knees meet. If you need something between your legs to make that contact, grab a pillow. But pelvis is upright initially, and let your legs just open. Let your hips open for a moment before you bend forward. Just let your body adjust into that position. So take as much time as you need before you go forward, and then place your elbows on your top leg if that feels okay. And if you want to go further, take your hands down in front of you. Try to keep your back long. Try to keep your head in line with your spine, but then go ahead and let your head relax. Just loosen up that neck. And then you can round to come back up, and we're going to switch sides. Left over right, ankle over knee, knee over ankle, feet are flexed. Make sure those hips are level, as they will be. Sitting up nice and tall, letting the legs open, letting the hips open. When you're ready, elbows onto that left leg. Feeling my hips pressing down. Feeling the bottoms of my hips pressing down, I should say. When you're ready, and if you want to, hands forward. And honestly, whatever feels good for your back. You don't have to keep a flat back, because clearly I did not. If you want to round, that's okay too. But do feel that your tailbone, the edge of your spine is extending out behind you, while the top of your head is extending out in front of you, elongating that spine. Come on up. Undo that. Cross your right leg over. Tuck your left leg in, or you can keep your left leg long and just take a twist to the right. Your right arm can be wherever you want it to be. My left arm is hooked over my right leg. I am feeling this more as a twist in my spine as opposed to a stretch in my hip. But depending on where that arm is that's wrapped around the leg, you might get a different kind of feeling. But I'm doing it for the twist. Keeping my hips down and trying to keep my hips level. My shoulders are down, relaxed. My neck is nice and long. Trying to keep that left hip down because I will open that left hip more if I can keep it down. And then uncross. Scoot yourself away from your pillows and you're done. That's it. If you are planning to go to bed, you can stay here. If you're getting up, or if it's in the morning, if it's in the afternoon, whatever, if you want to get up out of bed, stay here for a moment, let your body relax, let it do what it wants to do. You can have your knees open, you can have them together, you can have your legs long. Then you start to move your legs around a little bit, move the hips, move the torso, move your arms if you want to. I'm going to do one more little stretch actually. You're going to make your way up to sitting. Stretch the hamstrings if you would like. Coming up. Take the legs in front of you if you would like. A little bend forward if you want. Stretch the arms behind. Open up the front of the body. And we're going to wrap our arms in front. Give yourself a little hug. Open and switch the arm that's on top. It will feel more awkward. For me anyway. And then that's it. If you're going to get up, come on up with me. If you're going to go to bed, have a good night. Thanks for joining.